Summer has finally arrived. So we've been having a bit of a heat wave here in the UK. I know that further inland it's gotten really quite unpleasantly hot, whereas out here, coastal North Wales, we've been around sort of 25, 26. So it's been just beautiful. I really enjoyed the time out in the garden. But I have had to sort of take it easy in the daytimes, come out in the morning, come out in the evening. I thought I would take you around and show you what we've been up to. So I've been doing a bit of a garden reset. It's time for all the summer stuff to come out, even though we're finally getting a bit of summer. It is unfortunately a bit late. So I've basically been taking out anything that's like gone to seed, or the tomatoes which have all diseased to death. We're just getting rid of all of that, claiming the beds back so that we can get more stuff planted for the autumn and overwintering garden. So I'll show you what we've been up to so far. We'll get a bit more done this evening, but I think we are planning on doing a bonfire this evening. So I'm going to throw all the blighty waste onto that. I've read different things about composting blighted tomatoes, and some people say you can do it and some people say you shouldn't do it. Either way, we're not short of organic material for our compost pile, so better safe than sorry, and I'm going to bung them on the bonfire tonight. So I'm going to pull up the last of the diseased tomato. There's still a few plants in the far corner which aren't showing any disease yet and still have some fruit that I think is about to ripen, so I'm going to leave those alone, but all the rest is going to come out. We're also going to harvest some food for dinner tonight, so let's go. Right, so I've got my trusty trolley and we're going to use this to just bung all of the dead tomatoes, or practically dead tomatoes, in and lug them up to the fire pit. I've also got a bucket in there for any ripe ones. I will grab those. I won't take any green ones because if they're green on a blighted plant, I know you can take green tomatoes that have started to ripen inside and let them ripen inside, but if it's on a blighted plant, realistically they're probably just going to rot inside rather than ripen. So I'm not going to take anything green. I'm just going to take ripe or nearly ripe, and grab those inside, and the rest of the plant is going on the fire heap. This here is the bed that I have reclaimed from blighty tomatoes, so this is now ready to go again, along with the one behind, along with this bed along here. It's still got some cosmos in there which I'm going to leave because hopefully we'll get some flowers out of those, and there's still some beans down the end, but all in all I've taken all the tomatoes out of here so we can reclaim this patch for something else. My climbing beans have finally decided to climb. They're just starting to put on beans, so we'll see how they do. Right, so this bed is the one I'm going to tackle today. There are some red tomatoes in there, but realistically these plants are on their last legs, so I'm going to pull those out. We'll take the ripe ones, but otherwise we're moving on to the winter garden. There's some red ones in there. I'm wearing the gloves because it's very thistly. Let's pop those in there. Okay, so this here is a good example of what blight actually looks like on the fruit. You can see it's starting to blister on the outside, so that's going to go in the dead pile. Okay, I think that's all of the ripe fruit out of here. You can see how much disease is going on here. This is a mess, so this is all coming out. Let's do this. So here, I don't know if you can see, the actual stem on the truss has got blight on it. Realistically, it's highly unlikely that any already not ripened fruit off of a truss that's showing blight is going to ripen. So all of that, unfortunately, is destined for the fire. It feels pretty naff to do all of this in one go and be this brutal, but realistically, by leaving the disease in here, considering I've still got some plants that I think if I can keep them going the next couple of days, or for the next week or so, I've got a good number of tomatoes to come in. By keeping these around, I'm just increasing the chance that I'm going to spread it myself just by my hands, my tools and things like that. This, oh, if you've not seen blighted fruit before, this is what it looks like. And hey, this way I can reclaim these beds and get something else in here while I've still got a bit of warmth, but before it gets all cold for winter. I've still got, realistically, I'm not going to get frost until at least November. So I've still got a good couple of months here of mild weather, so I'm going to use that and get as much in these beds as I can. Look at these beans. They were completely taken over by these tomato plants, and they're still just in this module tray, desperately trying to live. So I'm going to give them a chance. Once all of this comes out, I'm going to put them up against this trellis and see what happens. Alright, let's crack on. As long as the fruit itself is showing no actual signs of blight, then it is safe to eat. So that's why I'm looking at each truss I pull off. Literally every single branch is showing signs of blight, so I'm not being premature with this. Anything that's not already ripe is definitely not going to. But anything that is ripe and the fruit is not showing any signs of blight, they are safe to eat, and I am going to eat them. But that being said, I am going to eat them very soon, because if they've been on this plant, chances are they have come into contact with blight, which means they will, sooner rather than later, probably end up rotting away. But if there's no obvious sign of blight, the fruit is safe to eat, so I will be doing that. So while I have been talking about this like it's been the worst thing ever and an epic fail, I mean, I'm not going to go ahead and try and claim that this has been a successful tomato year, because it hasn't. But all of that being said, we have managed to eat loads and loads of fresh tomatoes. I have managed to cut off a few jars of tomato sauces and things like that. So, and we're still getting them out of the garden. So all things considered, it's not so bad. I mean, when you set yourself the lofty targets of growing all of your tomato products for the year, even if they were unrealistic in the first place, then you do feel like you've lost something and you can't then do that. But all in all, now I've had a chance for the emotions of it to wear down a bit. It's alright. It's not so bad. I mean, as I said before, it's not that I've done everything right and I can feel that hard done by because I did everything perfectly. I didn't. I still had things to learn. You know, I still learned plenty of things from this year, even in a year where the weather is better. I could still have had this problem because I've not done the care on these that I should have done. But that being said, I've learned that lesson, and onwards and upwards. Whew, alright, I think we're nearly done with this row. I'm going to pull this sucker out. I've nearly filled up my trolley. And there's only so much fresh green stuff that can go onto a fire. So I think after this row is finished, I'll call it a day on the tomato massacre. And we'll do a bit of harvesting for dinner. I'm going to pull up some carrots and some beetroot, and I'm going to roast those up with some potatoes, sprinkle a bit of taco seasoning. I've already cooked up some lentils in there, and we're just going to have a nice taco night. I've also got some broccoli that desperately needs to come out of the brassica cage, so I'm going to find a way to incorporate that as well. So this is all perpetual spinach that's gone to seed. I thought I'd leave a few of these for seeds, but I mean, it's getting a bit out of hand. Oh, there's the buggies on here. I don't know what they are, but they seem to be enjoying it, so maybe I will leave them, just for now. But this has opened up loads of this bed. so I can come in. So I can come in and get a good hoe over this. I'll throw on an extra layer of compost and we'll plant something else in here. I mean, not tomatoes. I've got a lot of brassicas and onions and salad greens and things started, so they can come out here and fill out this bed. This is my one potentially going to ripen Roma tomatoes. As you can see, it's still a bit orange, but it's not showing any signs of blight yet. The rest of the Romas, just the plants all died and the fruits rotted before they got anywhere near this close. So you never know, I might get to try one of them. I think this is the most I'm possibly going to fit in this trolley. So I'm going to call it there on that. Let's go harvest some food. He's a bit small, I'll leave him. This one, on the other hand, he looks fabulous. He's a bit small too. Oh, fudge. Been too much of a knife to go and grab. I'm still going to take these tops in because we'll do something with those. Oh, that'll learn me for being lazy. Snapchat's been using my trowel up in the garden for a little project we got going on up there. Find something out here. So instead I'll have to be very careful with a fork. But that carrot will be mine. Well, they may not be the most impressive carrots in the world. Carrots have always been my nemesis, so the fact that I'm getting any carrots out of this garden makes me very happy. So no judging my tiny carrots, people. I really do think that one of the best things about gardening as a hobby is that even if you don't know what you're doing and you're making it up and you're just fudging your way along it, you're probably still going to get something out of it. You know, you're always going to learn. I honestly have no idea how many years you must have to garden in order to just know everything and not have any lessons left to learn. So you're always going to learn stuff. But the beauty is that even in a garden where I've got things rotten left, right and centre, I'm still getting tons and tons of food. I've got here I found some onions that we must have pulled back when I did all the onions that got missed. So they've just been sat out in the sun. They look great, so we'll take those in as well. So I shan't lie to you, I've been through some peaks and troughs in my enthusiasm for this garden this year, because it just requires like so much input so consistently, and if you let it drop for a bit it shows. And then you come out here and it's weeds everywhere and things going wrong, and then you have to fix it, and it can get on you a little bit. But then you get food and everything feels rosy again, or you get a few days of sunshine and everything feels rosy again. Now I'm slightly embarrassed to show you the inside of my brassica cage. It is a weedy mess, but that being said, there's some broccoli in there that I need to get. I'm just working out the best way to get in there without getting my legs stung with all the nettles. I have to fight my way in. I'm going to put you down because this is a dangerous game. Okay, so I definitely got some ankle stinging nettle stings there, but well, that'll learn me either to take better care of my beds or to wear trousers. Maybe I'll learn one of those lessons, you never know. Alright, that's my haul for today. I'm gonna go in, get dinner started, because as you can see, the sun's going in, which means I've probably been out here too long. Let's get in there, make some dinner, then we can come out and bed some stuff.
หมาป่าแปลก